Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are back. The first episode of 2025. Super excited to have fights back. My God. AJ joined by the one, the only Mike Finch. What's up, dog?
What up, homie? Today, the Prime Minister of Canada drops out. Lex Friedman dropped the interview with Zelensky. I mean, Trump just officially got, what do they call it in Congress where they put him forward as the president? I mean, it's a fucking eventful week. And here we are with the first official Moneyline card breakdown of 2025. AJ, I'm super excited, bro. I have missed y'all. How have y'all been? Did Santa get you something good for Christmas? Did you go get drunk and flying knee somebody on New Year's? AJ, how was your New Year's, bro?
New Year's was a lot of fun. I went to a buddy of mine's with my girlfriend, my brother. We go there every year, and it was a great time, bro. Got a little bit schlit, but like not too schlit. You know what I'm saying? I was chilling. I was still good. And I have fun, bro. It was a nice time. I like New Year's. I said to myself, 2025 is the year of best ever MMA Experts content, bro. I'm dropping fire every single day. Videos, live streams, news, and more. I think this show is going to be better than ever before. I feel like we were on a roll closing out 2024. And I feel like the vibes are immaculate. And I'm expecting even better for this year, man.
Me too, man. I'm super excited for this year. I'm going to also cover all the bare knuckle fighting championships cards over on Telegram. And I'm even looking to expand all that. So all the UFC cards, all the BKFC cards, double work this year. Let's fucking go.
Let's get it, man. It's going to be a beautiful year of violence. And I think this card, though, I have my gripes I've made about the main event already. I don't think this is a great way to like kick the year off. But I'm happy we have a fun card, and there's some good matchups throughout the prelims to the main card with prospects and OGs alike. So I'm looking forward to it. Finch, before we get into the fight picks, though, we got to talk a little bit about some fights that were announced earlier today. Not the parlay section. We might have to remove McGregor's face from the parlay section. I don't know, man. I might have to spin that off with something different, bro. Might have to get somebody else in there. We'll see. We'll talk about that later.
After he took the L of the year on the awards show? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Might need somebody new.
He's still the money guy.
He is. He is. UFC Seattle. Breaking news. If you guys have not heard, the main and co-main events of UFC Seattle have been booked. You see who's on the screen there, Finch?
Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz?
No. Henry Cejudo and Dominic Cruz are on the card. But no, they're not fighting each other. They're booked on the same card as main and co-main events. Cejudo is going to be fighting Song Yadong, and Dominic Cruz is taking on Rob Font.
Damn, I want to see Henry Cejudo and Dominic Cruz. Now you got me pumped for that. That's fucked up. You just played a trick on me, man. Fucked up. I really want to see that fight. I think that would be better.
I thought the same thing initially. But here's the facts of it all. We've had Cejudo competing at a high level over the past couple of years. We've had Dominic Cruz sidelined for 2 years. Is a Cejudo rematch the right fight to come back to? I feel like it's a very difficult matchup, even if Dominic Cruz has momentum on his side. Now you're going to give him 2 years out of the game, and we're going to put him in against Cejudo, who's coming off of losses only to former and champs. Like the current champ Marab obviously ran through Cejudo to get the title fight. And then before that, he loses a close one with Aljo. Whereas, you know, Dominic Cruz been out for a while, had the bad loss to Chito Vera. It's like, you know, Dom Cruz at this point, I feel like is a little farther away from the upper echelon of the weight class. Granted, if he wins, he's right back in the mix. That I think the UFC said, we can't throw him Cejudo, even though I think it would be a cool rematch. I'm not opposed to seeing it at some point. Yeah. I feel like this is kind of like Dom Cruz. Let's test you one last time. Do you have it in you still? Or is it time to throw the gloves down I don't know. We'll find out. The Rob Font fight's not easy, but at least Font has like that very obvious hole in his wrestling game. Whereas like with Cejudo, he's good everywhere. And he already beat Dom Cruz, right?
And Dominic Cruz has underrated takedowns. The way Dominic Cruz darts side to side and then sets up those double legs, he folds people in half like lawn chairs when he hits those doubles. That's an interesting matchup between those two, albeit later in his career, he's looking a little bit more fragile. And then, Song Yadong, the Piotr Yan decision loss. But before that, Chris Gutierrez win, Ricky Simone win. Now up against Henry Cejudo. Henry, obviously, not the springest chicken ever, 37 years old. But that's my boy, so I'm rooting for the Olympian. All right, you just broke that news to me.
I knew you'd be excited hearing it. I think that it's going to be a pretty good UFC Seattle fight night. The card's shaping up, too. I was checking out the card overall. You got Cruz, Font, co-main, Cejudo, Song, main, but featured fight. Edson Barboza versus Steve Garcia, which is sick at featherweight. Brendan Allen versus Fluffy Hernandez is a good fight. Ibo Aslan, big knockout artist at light heavyweight, is taking on Iwan Kutelaba. Curtis Blades is fighting the Dagestan Savage, Kuniev. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Gene Silva's on the card. Mansour Abdul Malik, Islam Dulatov, who's Chechnyan and absolutely one of the most hyped guys coming off Contender Series. So Ketlin Vieira, Chiasson. Overall, bro, is a banging fight night. I'm actually really hyped.
Finch for governor of California. Gavin Newsom, I'm calling you out right now. Let's go. I'm running as an independent like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let's get this fucker out of here. Let's actually tackle this homelessness once and for all. Finch 2020, whatever whenever the election is. Thank you, Nunez's uncle.
Finch 2026. He's gonna run. Are you getting into politics at some point, Finch? Finch?
I've smoked weed live on this podcast. It's over for me.
I don't think that writes you off for sure. It's 2025. I feel like how many politicians have they never had a drink before?
You know what? He's got a better idea. I'm taking over Canada. All right. I'm going to make it the 51st state, as was the offer. We're taking the offer. Thank you. I never even been to Canada, but I'm sure they'd love me as prime minister.
Let's go. Listen, Finch, there's also one more fight that is tentatively announced that I got to mention.
Oh,
I saw it on Twitter and I've seen a couple pages.
That means it
reposted.
Must be true.
Exactly. So I'm not 100%, but it is not a page known for fake fight announcements. Jack Della Maddalena, Leon Edwards.
That's a cool fight. Yeah. Jack will make him fight.
That's
Jack
a dog
will
fight.
Make that motherfucker fight. That's a good one.
I'm picking Jack Della. I think he beats Leon.
Wow. I've been seeing people give praise and love to Jack Della, man.
He's the guy.
Really? He is?
Jack Della is the hardest fight for below.
Remember when he got his ass beat by Basil Hafez?
Listen. Basil Hafez, they were injecting him with like some nuclear power plant type shit back then, bro. Look at his physique change. Look at him before, and then look at him versus Oban Elliott, bro. He doesn't have the same muscle density. He looked like a freak before. Then he looked jacked still. He looked freaky. Bro, I think Basil Hafez is dangerous, but listen, come on. I think Jack Della with a knockout over Burns got to be respected. The way he ran through Randy Brown. He had a hard fight versus Hafez. Hafez put it all on the line in that fight. It was a great performance in loss.
The two guys at the top of the division right now are Bilal Muhammad and Shavkat Rakhmonov. Those boys can wrestle. Jack Della better get his shit together. Pure striking, though, matchup with Leon Edwards. Count me in, man. That's a good fight.
I love the matchup. I hope that it does hold up and this is truth and we're not getting bamboozled by Twitter, but seems realistic. I think it's a sensible matchup too. So overall, there have been some banger fights announced today, February 22nd for this card in Seattle. The card in England, I think it's March, but I don't know what, March something. Let me double check. I feel like I got to give you guys the accurate update. Leon Edwards, let's go to Tapology and let's see. I think, is it March 6th, 7th? Not even officially booked. Damn, bro. I don't know. Does somebody in chat know when the England card is? I got to check it out, man. I got to go digging for this, man. I got to find out. Now I have to know.
I ain't got no dates. You want a date? I got no dates, bro.
Let's see.
People ask me like, do you remember UFC 215? I'm like, motherfucker, I don't remember the numbers. Like, like people, aren't you the biggest fan? Like, I don't remember like dates and numbers like that. Like, what the fuck?
I remember it like it was
not-
yesterday.
I'm not a fucking some chess world champion who like remembers. I don't, but I know fist fights. Sure. Doesn't mean I know all the dates. March 22nd. Is that real?
Yeah, March 22nd is when it's going down, the England card. So March 22nd is going to be a banging day. UFC Seattle looking nice. Some fun fight announcements. And I felt like it was a good way to start the show off with some excitement of things to look forward to in 2025. But we have fights this Saturday that need breaking down. So we're going to start it off. Make sure you guys smash the likes. And if you're new, subscribe. Joe Solecki versus Nurullo Aliev. Solecki stepping in on short notice, replacing Ashmuz. He's got balls for stepping in, taking on essentially Habib's clone. That's what I feel when I look at Nurullo Aliev. I feel like I'm looking at Habib, man. He looks almost identical to him. And a similar fighting style, pressure-based wrestling, good offensive wrestling attack, good control. He didn't fight in 2024, and I think the hype kind of steamed down a little bit. But the Tajik Eagle won his debut against Rafael Alves, who is no longer with the promotion, but not like some scrub fighter. He's getting violent wins in karate combat. He's a dangerous Brazilian, and I think it's easy to overlook the debut. It's like, he kind of struggled in that fight. It's not like he struggled as far as like being too compromised. He was caught in, the guillotine, which was a tricky spot for him, but he fought his way out. But ultimately, he didn't get the finish, right? He had to embrace the grind to win. But I think it's because Alves is kind of a certified gangster and one of those guys who, gets released from the UFC, but it's having success doing karate combat. So I think Aliev's win in his debut was nice. And I feel like the Solecki fight's intriguing because we know for a fact Solecki, good jiu-jitsu, but subpar wrestling and subpar boxing. Like his striking arsenal is quite limited. He's not explosive. He's got dangerous guillotines. Like he gave Grant Dawson trouble in that position too. And I feel like he's definitely looking to put Aliev in one of them. I'm going to say Aliev fights through any potential guillotine attempt. I see heavy wrestling pressure, embracing the grind. And I see a 24-year-old Nurullo Aliev who could be back substantially better than last time. Obviously, when you have a young guy who's been out for a while, the improvements that he can be making are vast and quick. And I think that Nurullo Aliev is going to probably put it on Joe Solecki for a dominant decision, especially a short notice Solecki.
Exactly. I mean, Solecki really can just Hail Mary submission attempts here. He is good at grappling. He has, submitted some decent guys in grappling, some UFC fighters, Donald Cerrone, etc., in pure grappling. Straight ankle lock wins, and then also in mixed martial arts, finishes by rear naked strangle, finishes by guillotine chokes. But that's going to be a tall task here. You run this fight 10 times. I'm sure Solecki finds the neck at some point, but chances are he's going to get smushed here. He'll probably get a little tired as the fight goes on too. Late finish or decision for Aliev seems extremely likely. And we got a dono in chat. AJ, not that AJ, this AJ ended up not going for holidays. I'm making $20,000 in 2025. Godspeed, my friend.
Thank you, AJ, for the $2.99. Best of luck to you, my man. Let's pull through and let's catch you a nice savage W. I think Aliev is going to win. I like the chance of outcome being him getting a decision, but I could see the late finish, especially with a short notice Solecki, as a viable option. Unfortunately, odds are really wide here. You got Aliev at minus 450. He's a talented up-and-comer, and he's taking on Solecki, who's crafty. Like, Solecki is not bad, right? Like, there's been moments where Solecki has looked pretty good. Like, he's got submission wins over, I don't know, Carl Deaton. Is really that something? It's more in jiu-jitsu. He's really looking good. But he did beat Jim Miller in 2021. I guess that's a big aspect of his game. But he ain't beating Aliev, man.
Yeah,
Aliev's going to dominate.
Miller's decent too, 2021, Jim Miller is still fucking Jim Miller. Yeah, I'm going to go with Tajikistan, decision or late finish. Probably decision, but, we'll see what type of shape Solecki shows up in.
Over 2.5 sits at -310. Aliev by decision sits at -230. So you really got to lay it down heavy for Aliev. Unfortunately, not much to do on a straight money line. To me, what I see it as like a longer shot parlay piece because I think it's a high likely outcome, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's 4-1.
Yeah, bro. Very wide. And you can't get shit on the decision either. -230, but probably that outcome. I mean, if you reach and you're like, yo, he could TKO him, it's +500 if you got like a third round TKO. But bro, do you really want to back Aliev though by finish? Because dude's got 7 decisions. He's not a great finisher, but he did get that finish on Contender Series in 2022.
Although if he's gonna finish a fight, this seems to be it. I mean, you know, I know people are going to chase dogs on this card. There are some attractive dogs on this card, you know, both literally and figuratively. But this is not one. But you know, I think it's just so hard to get a submission in a 5-minute round with those mixed martial arts gloves on when you're against a person who could dominate position, who could, you know, dominate the wrestling aspect like Aliev. I think he's got this one in the bag.
Let's go. Aliev taking it home, the call for the Finchman and I. Let's jump to fight number 2. Victoria Dudakova versus Fatima Kline. It's crazy to see how wide the odds are for Fatima Kline when Dudakova was like a massive favorite heading into fights previously, like against Jinyu Frey. She was this massive favorite that was expected to run through her. Obviously, she had trouble with wrestling in that fight. She's shown to get tired, lost to Sam Hughes last time. I'm going to pick Fatima Kline, but I don't like the odds in this fight because Dudakova has relatively good boxing. She's pretty decent on the feet. She's not a terrible fighter. I think like the odds here to me are like you're throwing Fatima Kline a can. Dudakova is not a can. She gave Sam Hughes a relatively hard fight. She still went the distance. It was a split decision. Say what you want about the Jinyu Frey fight, whatever, with the decision probably, you know, potentially controversial, but at the end of the day, just an unimpressive win, regardless of what you think about the outcome. Still goes distance, right? Doesn't go and get TKO'd or anything. She's not like a certified scrub. She's still at one point undefeated. And I think she's being overlooked a lot here odds-wise because of her questionable gas tank, which I do believe is going to be her downfall. I think Fatima Kline is live for a submission in the final round. I think her wrestling game, obviously better. Jiu-jitsu skill set, better. Dudakova early in the fight could potentially fend off takedowns, though. But as Fatima Kline continues to shoot, I see her having success with the wrestling. Her debut was crazy hard. Short notice against Jasmine Jasudavicius. Nobody's doing good in most cases against Jasudavicius as a debut and a short notice fight. But ultimately, Kline landed a takedown early, still went the distance. I mean, she's a crafty grappler, and I think she's got a lot of skill. So I'm going to say Fatima Kline uses her jiu-jitsu and finds a later finish. And I do think she probably wins the early portions of the fight with offensive wrestling. So Kline for the Dubski.
But, you know, Kline, you know, one UFC fight, 0-1 in the UFC, and the odds are, I saw like 9-1.
Right now, yeah, -950 is crazy. That's crazy as hell.
Against a girl who's what, 2-1 in the UFC?
Yeah, that's weird.
You know, I mean, you know, and fairly well-rounded, could be better at striking, could be, you know, pretty competitive with the jiu-jitsu. I see why people are going Kline. You know, Sam Hughes scoring at the takedowns, being able to be physical, and Kline that's sort of, you know, being her bread and butter too. But brother, this is looking like some stupid odds, especially on a girl fight. You know, so I'm a bit on the fence on this one. You know, my mind is telling me Kline, but my heart is telling me Dudakova. So I'll do some ayahuasca on the mountains. I'll meditate on this one. But you know, early lean Kline, but Dudakova's not bad. This fight, I would expect her to be like a 2-1 dog, 9.5-1 dog. They're trying to make me bet on this one.
I think that's what they want from you. They want you to throw down on Dudakova as the, you know, Russian hope underdog, and then she, you know, gets submitted, and, you know, that's it. but you got to lay heavy if you want to get anything with Kline. To me, it's essentially like a fight that I stay away from. I'm not interested in Dudakova as an underdog. I think Kline can win by submission. Let's see what the odds are for submission. Is there anything as far as upside? Yeah, plus 365. So if Fatima Kline is able to lock up a sub, you're getting over 3-1. I think it's possible, right? With Dudakova's gas tank being a bit of a flaw, her even like shooting sloppy takedowns against Sam Hughes. If she shoots those takedowns against Kline, there's a real chance that Kline is going to counter those takedown attempts and find the submission here, get her back, choke her out.
I mean, I even like the opposition better of Kline. Marina Silva W. Marina Silva was 8-0 heading into that fight. Estela Nunes, I mean, Jinyu Frey, I know you guys can shit on those, but Sam Hughes is I know her record sucks, but she really turned it around. She's been good these past couple of years. As far as Kline goes, she's beaten a bunch of bums, and I guess not bums, but 6-3-1 in women's pro is just in CFFC, yeah, I am not impressed, so this is I think Vegas has this one all fucked up. Now, I heard that when this thing came out, it was like 2-1, and then it just got wider and wider. Maybe some billionaire went out there and put some money on Kline. I don't know, but this thing is looking the odds here look mispriced, to say the least.
Yeah, the odds are crazy wide, but it was minus 225 at open. Kline should get it done, I believe. So official pick, Finch, what are we doing?
Yeah, Kline decision is my blind pick here. But when I saw the odds, I went, what the fuck? So we'll see what I end up dropping on my premium channel when I do my bets. You know what I'm
saying? Maybe you're going D-Gen Dudakova. We'll see. Good luck if you do it, bro. I like Fatima Kline. She trains with Erin Blanchfield. I see her winning. Just the odds suck. Let's keep running, man. Let's get to the next fight. We got more. We got Magomed Gadzhiyasulov versus Bruno Lopes. It's a good fight at light heavyweight. Bruno Lopes just recently won on the Contender Series. He dealt with some trouble by Sazignani early, right? He got dropped in round number 1 there, had to overcome heavy ballistic like pressure attack with Sazignani throwing these overhands like a psychopath. I think Magomed Gadzhiyasulov technically more efficient than Bruno Lopes, a little quicker in the stand-up, better from distance. But to be fair, he did struggle with Brenson Ribero's leg kicks, and Lopes has relatively good kicking skills to the legs as well. The thing with Lopes is he's a little bit on the slower side. He's not super quick, right? And he doesn't really have good head movement. He actually got violently chinned by Brenson Ribeiro on that Contender Series season, I believe 2 seasons ago back. I think Gadzhiyasulov should win the fight, but he is sometimes worrisome because of his lack of finishing ability. He's not shown it. Both of his high-level wins are decisions, but what he did show is kind of high fight IQ. I mean, he recognized Brenson Ribeiro had no way to stop his takedowns, and he just kept going to it, and Ribeiro really couldn't get back up to his feet, and he controlled the fight using grappling. Takedowns could be a viable option here with Lopes. Striking from range is an option. Lopes, a little heavy-footed. I don't think, like I said, he's one of the quicker guys at light heavyweight. Not super slick either. There's not a ton of head movement. He's hittable. Gadzhiyasulov hasn't really shown power, but I still think he can hit you hard enough to make you respect him. I'm going to say Gadzhiyasulov wins this fight. I think he probably takes it home on the cards. It's just been the, story every time for him. But, hey, listen. Maybe this time he lands a head kick and gets a violent KO. I hope.
I mean, Lopes likes to get into stupid slugfests. Lopes can get coaxed into planting his feet, keeping his head on the center line, as you said, and going to war. And we've seen that not pay off for him, as you mentioned. Gadzhiyasulov, he has a hole in his game. It's actually when he's on his back, off of his back, he doesn't look good. He can get taken down. His takedown defense is relatively low percentage, but that's really not an issue here, AJ. I'm not too concerned about Lopes being the one to take him down. I think Lopes is going to do his thing and try and strike with Gadzhiyasulov. And the kicking thing, I'm not too concerned with, because when I'm in there with a mixed martial arts fight, I've only had 5. But when I'm in there in my 5 mixed martial arts fights, I love when they kick my legs if I'm trying to take them down. That's a sweet entry into a takedown. I'm like, oh, they're going to square their hips up and give me a leg to hang on to. That's a beautiful thing. So I do think Gadzhiyasulov changes levels, hits a takedown. He took Brenton Hibero down 5 times. I could see him doing something similar here if he even needs all 5. So, yeah, I'm going to go Gadzhiyasulov with the wrestling. Top position, he looks good. That's where he lives. And, I think he'll take the fight over once he hits that first takedown.
Odds for the fight, Gadzhiyasulov -222 as the favorite, +180 for Bruno Lopes as the dog. I think Gadzhiyasulov takes it home. It is plus money for it to go over 2.5. You're looking at +130. Gadzhiyasulov is very experienced in MMA. If you look at his amateur run as well, I mean, he was 10-3 through amateur MMA, now 9-0 as a pro. He's got a lot of fights. Finishing ability not shown at a high level just yet, but he does have 4 wins by knockout. He does have 1 submission. Bruno Lopes was violently chinned by Hibero. Maybe there's a shot that opens up on the feet and Gadzhiyasulov gets that violent KO. But ultimately, I'm going to say, from what I've seen, his willingness to play it safe, I think he's going to get a decision. So I'm in agreement there. Around the -200 range on a money line call for Gadzhiyasulov. If you think, listen, Gadzhiyasulov by decision, maybe that's the route you want to go down. +200. If he's to get a KO, it's +275.
I like that. Now you're going to make me look at that. Damn, bro. I hate when you tell me that shit, because then you start, piquing my imagination. The show's called Moneyline, partially because that's our favorite way to bet, right? Certainly my favorite way to bet, AJ. You would say most of your bets are Moneyline bets, right? I mean,
it's Moneyline or it's parlay time.
Or it's parlay time. I agree. That would be, most popular, second most popular. Third, I'm looking at props. So, yeah, Gadzhiyasulov decision's the pick. If you're getting plus money for it, it's worth a look. But that's so much harder, because now we're talking about many other possibilities at whatever it was, 2-1 or whatever. It's not crazy to money line either. So Gadzhiyazulov's the pick, and I'll look at how to bet it.
Can you say a last part again, bro? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying Gadzhiyazulov's the pick. I will look at how to bet it if I want to.
Respect. I think that we're on the right side of history, Finch. Gadzhiyasulov should pull through. We're both picking him. We're going with the OV, the Russian savage, training now, I believe, out of Bahrain, but he comes from that Dagestan bloodline, so respect to him. And let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Ernesta Kareckaite versus Nicole Caliari. I'm picking Nicole Caliari to wrestle her up, man. But I will say, after making it, I was sleeping on it, and I was thinking about it earlier today. I was like, damn, if she can't get that fucking clinch work or that takedown, Kareckaite's got crazy range on her, and I could see her throwing a lot of volume. The thing is, with Kareckaite, we don't really know how she looks against somebody whose base of style is like pressure-based grappling. She beat Carly Giudice in a back-and-forth split decision win. Giudice is a striker. She beat she lost to Diani Barboza, but she did survive bad spots on the ground. But when I think about Diani Barboza, she's a striker too. She's not bad on the ground, but she's a striker. Caliari is the first test at a high level where I feel like her goal is going to be getting the fight to the ground. And Caliari, I believe, definitely has better jiu-jitsu. Kareckaite definitely better striking. Add on top of that, substantial reach advantage. So if Caliari is unable to close that gap, she could get picked apart from the outside. But Caliari does bring nice pressure. She is explosive and aggressive, a little bit wild and raw with her striking. But you know what? Against Kareckaite, I don't think that's a horrible thing. As much as her nickname is heavy-handed, I think Caliari, in some senses, has to kind of fight like an idiot on the feet, get a little crazy, be willing to be unorthodox, and maybe eat a shot to close that gap. Kareckaite, though the nickname is heavy-handed, she's not known for finishes. She's got good volume punching. She's precise for sure. She's a good round winner and a good striker from range. But I think on the ground, she might get a little bit exposed. A little bit. I'm not saying she's a scrub on the ground, but it's more going to be survival mode if she hits the ground. And I think Caliari thrives there. I'm leaning towards the Brazilian, man. Strong Brazilian girl, good athleticism. I think she's got a shot, but I don't like the size disadvantage.
Yeah, I actually forget. So Brazilian versus Lithuanian. Wow. Lithuanian. That's wild. But we're looking at 5'9" versus 5'3". Come on, dog. That's going to be a huge problem for Caliari on the feet. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. Takedowns could get it for her. That would be the pathway. I think this is a competitive fight. I think this is the toughest women's fight to bet on this card. But I'm going to be on the other side due to the striking, due to the ability to have her at range, due to the heavy hands, hopefully.
Lack thereof.
Hopefully. So yeah, probably a decision for my Lithuanian gal. I think that 5'3" versus whatever, what I say, 5'9" thing is going to be a problem on the feet. And, that she can get 2 out of 3 rounds with the kickboxing. But sure, I mean, Cagliari's a threat with the takedowns. I probably stay away from it.
Yo, Finch, are the people trolling me or does my mic sound weird to you?
Your mic sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's I don't get it. I was literally listening to audio back. Yeah, I don't know what they're
Who's shitting on AJ's mic?
They said it sounds off, bro. Somebody said it sounds weird.
They fucking around.
What's up, Drakes with a fist? What's going on? Yeah, I'm getting trolled. Sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I literally set this thing up perfectly today. I said, man, the audio experience should be better than ever before.
Yeah, nah. They busting your balls, bro. You sound fantastic. Somebody's got to fix their fucking Wi-Fi. I know a thing or two about bad Wi-Fi stuff.
Let's go, Fidge. All right, let's talk the odds real quick. Kareckaite minus 260, Caliari plus 220. So she is a big underdog. If Caliari finds a submission, you got it up at plus 650. I think she's got a chance to it. I think she's got the pressure attack with wrestling and takedown ability, man. I see her getting Kareckaite's back. I'm going to say Caliari pulls through, man. Hold on real quick, Finch. I got to say something. Blasphemy. This blasphemy in chat. PFL, low-key, the best one. Don't fucking get me started on this shit. 2025. I got a video I'm dropping tomorrow. No. PFL is fucking in my sights right now with the bullshit they're pulling with Patricio Pitbull and their champions over there. The Bellator champs are sidelined like fucking nobodies, bro. The disrespect is unreal. The GFL has more respect from me than the fucking PFL.
Why you lie?
Don't at me with this. Don't at me with this, man.
Here's what we think about PFL. We're saying
that's it.
Let's go.
Let's go, man.
No, I actually I don't,
out, man.
I got a little more respect for PFL than AJ does at the moment, but we'll hash that.
Pissed off. I'm pissed off.
That's all right.
I'm pissed off. It's all right.
Sound great.
Thank you.
We disagree about this fight, but hey,
that's
I don't
fine.
think either of us are betting the retirement Roth IRA on this one.
But I might have to touch something with Caliari, bro. Strong Brazilian chick.
What are you talking about? Whoa.
Gotta reach out and grab the line. I'm saying I'm grabbing the betting odds.
Grab him right by the
by the cheek. Man.
Whoa. Chill, dog.
Whoa. All right, let's keep running up. Next fight on the card. We got Preston Parsons versus Jacobe Smith. I'm gonna go with Jacobe Smith. I like him as a prospect. I also feel like he's a guy that stays in shape all year. I feel like he's a guy that was preparing to step in on short notice for a debut. I don't know. He just seems like he's dedicated to the game with the wrestling base. He's very disciplined. His striking is good. His ground and pound is good. There's aspects of the game to like overall. Now, Preston Parsons is not an easy out. He's a tough veteran at this point. But I think that when I look, Smith being slicker on the feet, Smith being better with offensive wrestling, I got to say, I think Jacobe Smith beats a Preston Parsons, even though he's coming in on short notice, even though he's coming in a suboptimal circumstance. I honestly was also thinking to myself, was he looking at this card and saying, man, I'd be ready to step in? Because Andreas Gustafsson's also a winner from the same Contender Series season, same weight class. Now Smith has the big chance to bump himself right into the UFC. Like, Preston Parsons is not an easy debut. If you're debuting against Preston Parsons, you're in for a difficult fight. I think Jacobe Smith could be ready for it. And I think we're going to find out a lot. Cormier was praising him leading up to that Contender Series fight. And I think we're going to see, is he really as good as advertised? I think he might be. I'm going with it.
I got no fucking idea, man. I mean, obviously Preston Parsons wants to put him on his back. You know, is DC saying that they train together?
He's AKA and Fortis MMA, former collegiate wrestler, finish on Contender Series against Savoy, good wins outside of the UFC, knockout ability, ground and pound, good gas tank, great shape, talented up-and-comer, and a Contender Series prospect who's 9-0.
Parsons, a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's got the wrestling in his back pocket. He's got the UFC experience. I don't love betting on these, on these debut guys. Preston Parsons 11-5, but he's, I guess his Matthew Semmelsberger hasn't aged that well, but how many UFC fights now? 5. I could respect that over, this guy coming in on short notice too. I mean, I'm just questioning it. So 9-0, but he's beaten guys who are 12-11, 7-5, 13-9. Like, he's got one real fight, and that was on Dana White's Contender Series back in October of 24. I just don't know that I can, run and have a ton of confidence in him. So not that he can't win, but one I would caution, I would flag short notice and UFC debut. Like, I want to see you prove yourself before I'm looking to bet on you, I think, so maybe slightly into Preston Parsons, but Preston Parsons isn't great. I wouldn't be surprised to see Preston Parsons lose either. So low confidence.
Blasphemy, I tell you. Jacobe Smith is a legit prospect, bro. Jacobe Smith is good.
He's beating bums. Who the fuck?
Listen, you can see as he's beating these guys, the talent is there. I'm telling you, man.
I'm telling you, when you're fighting a bum, you can look so good. Like, you're out there loose. You know you're going to win. You were sleeping all fight week being like, oh, man, this guy's got 9 losses. I'm about to fuck this guy. What am I going to do? I'm going to set up that left hook, uppercut, put the right hand after it. I'm going to come in there moving my head. You go in there against somebody like Preston Parsons, who has the jiu-jitsu black belt. You've been submitted in the gym by jiu-jitsu black belts. He's a big dude. He could take you down. You start hesitating a little more. Everything gets different when you fight high-level people. I mean, how many busts do we need? That's how everybody was on the Rebellis de Spain thing, and certain people look talented against bums. It's just a different thing in the UFC. Again, I'm not even telling people to not bet on him per se. I'm just putting up the flag saying he ain't done shit yet.
All right. Respect on the betting side, flag. But I think that Jacobe Smith is clean with it. He's a savage stepping on the debut. I'm hype as hell for this debut. I'm on the fucking bandwagon. I think he looks really good, man. I think he's got a lot of talent.
He could win the fight. I ain't saying that.
I hope he does.
Preston Parsons is nothing but a gatekeeper level. So
tough gatekeeper though. Yeah. Not an easy debut.
Nobody, but I picked him. But we'll see what Smith is about. I mean, I'll learn a lot.
We'll all learn a lot. Minus 350 odds are a lot. Oh shit. Plus 275 for Preston Parsons.
I didn't even know that.
Over is
I
minus
Parsons
175.
fighting Gustafsson.
He was supposed to fight Gustafsson. That was a cool fight. I was excited for that fight too.
Damn. Some last minute switcheroos. Welcome back to the UFC, folks.
You guys think Smith ain't got the look? That's what they said. Smith ain't got the look. He looks like he's got enough of a look. What type of look are we looking for, man? Is he supposed to look like fucking Masvidal? Listen, if Smith don't got the look, Parsons got the look. How many fucking radio channels he's got?
Corey Anderson. That's
he does look like Beast in 25-8 Anderson. Oh shit.
Can we get some motivational Bruce Lee lines again tonight? Move like water. Water becomes the cup. That was racist as fuck. Hold up. Hold up. Pause. Hang on. He talks about being stronger. What is it? I say this one all the time and I can't think of it right now on the spot. Don't ask for an easy life. Ask for the strength to endure a difficult
Say it with your
one.
accent, please. What are you doing?
I'm
Say it
off
with the
accent,
freaking
bro.
accent.
I'm off the accent, bro. I'm trying to keep this show, dog. I'm trying to keep this show, bro. My bad. Yeah.
Easy life.
AP, don't report me, bro. Don't report me. My bad. My bad.
Holy shit, that was
Sometimes
funny,
you go for it, it don't hit, you know.
Obrigado. Yeah, that was funny, man. No, I thought it was great. I think you should have done the other one in the accent. I think you should do the whole show dressed up as Bruce Lee.
Yeah, you know, I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan. I've gone to war with the Bruce Lee community. They would all be like, he's the best fighter ever. I'm like, who did he fight? What fights? He's a movie star. You have been blinded by the lights. Okay, what is 007 also the best fighter ever? What the fuck are we talking about here, folks?
Look at
That dude didn't do Vale Tudo fights, you know?
Didn't he?
They're like, he invented Jeet Kune Do. Okay, the dude who invented basketball is better than LeBron James. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Bruce Lee would get smashed, brother. Smashed. Okay? UFC fighters would smoke Bruce Lee. All right, I know it was cool playing him in the video game, but that's not a fighter. That's a martial artist. That's a philosopher. That's a movie star. You know, I'll give him credit in all those areas, man. He killed it. He single-handedly changed martial arts forever.
Yeah.
But fighter, he didn't earn that.
Respect on that. He's a martial artist. Yeah.
Martial artist, 100%. Even like Chuck Norris, like competed in kickboxing. Give me that at least. Bruce Lee did like some bullshit, like Chinese boxing or whatever the fuck, you know?
Did he?
Yeah, he did some like, you know, like actual competition level stuff, like nothing crazy. So, you know, and Chinese boxing ain't Western boxing. So,
what does Chinese boxing look like?
Fucking some goofy shit. I don't want to talk about shit I'm uneducated on. I never trained in Chinese boxing in my life, but Western boxing I like, you know, and I know that Western boxing is far more effective, especially under Queensberry rules. But you know, Bruce Lee is obviously a great kicker and a great athlete. You know, he shows his ability to execute beautiful martial arts techniques for camera. But as far as like doing it in the fight, yeah, if he chose to do Vale Tudo fights in Brazil, which were going on when he was alive, we could analyze that. He chose not to do that, which, by the way, was probably a great idea. He had a great life, you know, but then you can't crown him as the best fighter. So anyway, I've been going to war with, you know, Bruce Lee fans since I was a kid. Who, you know, there's all these people. Then there was like the Kimbo Slice is the best fighter people. There's these little goofy pockets, you know, and sometimes you got to argue with them on the internet.
Finch, you know, the Chinese boxing, I'm looking at it, Sanda, or formerly known as San Shao, Chinese kickboxing, full contact combat sport. At least with the current version is like they have, I don't know, it looks similar to like amateur Muay Thai.
I would love to check it out.
Gonna have to see.
I am not I'm not in the loop. All right.
Chinese boxing loop, bro. The Chinese boxing.
You know, you got to give Zhang Wei Li way more credit, man, than Bruce Lee, you know? I mean, any of these Bruce Lee trained a little bit of judo. I actually interviewed Judo Gene LaBelle about this. It's on YouTube, not to send y'all anywhere, but just so you know, it's out there. Me interviewing his judo coach, Gene LaBelle, and Gene LaBelle told me Ronda Rousey would beat his ass. She said, wow. He said Ronda Rousey would eat him for lunch. He was serious. Wow. Okay. He thinks
I don't know though. Everybody said Ronda Rousey will beat Floyd and this and that. She'd beat fucking this guy and that guy, and then fucking
I think she would. Floyd in a real fight.
No way.
I'd take Ronda over Floyd.
Nah, she'll get smoked.
I'd take Wei Li over Floyd.
Wei Li's I think Wei Li beats Ronda
Suarez
Rousey
over Floyd.
Tatiana Suarez, I think, beats Ronda Rousey if she fought at 135.
I would take, and then obviously all of the men. Can you imagine
Yeah,
Mighty
yeah.
Mouse versus Floyd?
No,
It'd be
fuck.
such a joke,
It would be too easy.
you
But
know?
if you're talking about in a street fight, I just think Ronda Rousey
Great
couldn't
street
take a
fight.
hit to the face, dude. Look what happened with Nunes cracking her.
Yeah, but she was already a movie star, and you're talking about you use the worst
You
example.
talking about angry Ronda Rousey back in the day with a fucking
I
feisty
want,
attitude?
bartender Ronda Rousey.
All
Yeah,
right, all
yeah,
right, all
fuck
right.
yeah. Judo bronze medalist, Olympian Ronda
Okay.
Rousey, chip on her shoulder. Yeah, that's the one I want.
The
You
one
know?
that beat freaking
Yeah,
Betch
I think
Kohea in 30
I
seconds.
see every Floyd fight, and he's fighting men. It's different, but every Floyd fight he clinches 30 times. Ronda needs one clinch. That little motherfucker would go feet up in the air, boom, slammed on his back, broken ribs, arm bar, broken arm. It's a wrap. No, I do believe in martial arts, AJ. I think martial arts work. I've seen women beat men in the gym all the time. All the time. And men have a significant advantage over women. I'm recognizing that. But I'm also at the same time martial arts work. It's like if you don't know how to defend a guillotine, rear naked strangle, arm bar, triangle, you're going to get hit with them, I mean, I can beat people who are 200, 300, 285, 300 pounds quickly, when they're not nearly as good at jiu-jitsu. It's like people
What
are
about
vulnerable.
Floyd though? He still has IQ of throwing punches though, so he needs one shot. He
There's
could
a
knock
shot.
her
Yeah,
out.
Floyd could knock her out. He's live to
Yeah,
knock her out.
but
But
if
is
they
that what
tie
he
up, I
does?
agree.
Floyd's got no fucking power. Who does Floyd knock out? And again, he's fighting men. I mean, I
I get
want to
it. I
make
get
the
it.
distinction very clear.
Yeah.
All things equal, man versus woman, man, big advantage. Okay? Big hands, shoulders, dangerous kinetic energy. I get it. All right? We're getting the pickle jar when it can't be opened. Okay? Got it. However, AJ, grappling works. And Floyd doesn't know shit about grappling.
That's valid. That's valid. I guess I just wonder with Rousey. I don't know. When she gets hit, bro, she didn't like it. So if she can't land that takedown, she gets hit with a bare knuckle. Like I think if she's in BKFC, she's going down quick with a
Okay,
jab.
but prime Amanda Nunes, and I'm just saying that because I saw Sergio throw it in there. Prime
Amanda Nunes,
versus
no
Floyd.
comment. I'm picking Amanda all day.
All right,
Amanda's
so
different.
it's a
Amanda's
specific
different.
matchup. I got
Yeah,
you. You just
specific.
hate Ronda. All right, I get it. You hate
Yeah,
Ronda.
listen.
So had Ronda just retired before the Holly fight, you would have picked Ronda.
I picked Ronda over Holly back in the day.
We all did.
Yeah. Then she got starched for that head kick. It's a beautiful day in the history of combat.
There's an old video of me out there saying people are underestimating Holly Holm. There's an old video of me saying it. I'm like, people are underestimating Holly Holm. I picked Ronda, but I was like cautious. I was like, hey, this girl's world-class boxer, world-class kickboxing, trains at the best MMA gym in the world at the time, Jackson Wink. She moves side to side. She's hard to clinch up with. I said all the shit, and then it came to fruition. I didn't pick like immediate head kick knockout, but that was movie star Ronda too. So we're talking about different eras. We went on a fucking tangent.
I don't know how it happened.
Comment. We're
Holy
way off
shit.
roading.
Yeah, we got to get back on track. Listen, let's shift the car to the fucking turbo speed. Let's jump it up to the next fight on the card. We got Thiago Moisés versus a very surprised looking Trey Ogden here. And I think Trey Ogden could win this fight, man. I'm picking Ogden. I like his jab. I like his wrestling. Moisés, he's got good jiu-jitsu for sure, but he's not exceptional at grappling. I don't think at the higher levels of the game he thrives. Trey Ogden, he's pretty damn strong. He's got like that country boy strength. He's got a good wrestling offense that he's shown in some recent fights. His jab is not bad. I have my doubts about Thiago Moisés, man. He's not exceptional anywhere. And I don't really see him taking Ogden down and submitting him. I don't really see him outstriking him. So I asked myself, how does he beat him? Ogden works a nice jab. Ogden's effective with offensive wrestling. If it's just a striking fight, Ogden can definitely outpoint him. I mean, he was able to beat Daniel Zellhuber in a mostly kickboxing fight a few years back. I understand, it's a young Zellhuber and whatnot, but I still think Trey Ogden's pretty crafty, and I think that he can beat a Thiago Moisés. What do you think, bro?
I guess so. Yeah. I could see him winning like a decision
win. I was thinking too.
Yeah, grind it out 2 out of 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Thiago Moisés has been a little bit not impressive. the Ludovic Kline L. He's beaten guys like Mitch Ramirez and Melquizac Costa, however you say that dude's name with the skin condition. I know my man Costa. Christos Yagos is decent, but that's way back in 2022. Benoit Saint Denis, we can, actually that one didn't even age that well. Look at what Benoit Saint Denis been able to do.
And he got bullied in that fight, dude.
Jesus Christ. That's true. So yeah, I'll go Trey Ogden, especially since Trey Ogden's only 35 too. Like Loic Radzhabov, Kurt Halabaugh, I respect those W's. I respect the grappling that he's got. I don't think he's just going to go out there and get submitted either. So, that's the real risk against Thiago Moisés. Thiago Moisés is a very, very good submission specialist. So, Trey Ogden, it's also his world too. So let's go Trey Ogden decision.
Trey Ogden decision. I like the odds of it. The money line odds are plus 165 for Trey Ogden as an underdog. I just don't really think that's right, man. Like, right? Like, you would think that Ogden.
They had all month to make these fucking odds. This is what they bring. minus 950 for fucking, I'm forgetting the girl fights now. Jesus Christ.
Kline and Dudakova.
What the fuck is this? Ogden is dog money. I like it.
Yeah. I like Ogden as a dog. Plus 165 is a fabulous line. Over for the fight is minus 260. Moisés is minus 190. Ogden on the scorecards plus 230. But just give me the money line. I think Ogden, at the very least, what I like about him is he will fight relatively hard for your money. And I feel like he's pretty crafty. He's got good takedowns. He's got good boxing. Everything's kind of shirred up pretty well. Thiago Moisés on the other side, though he has decent Muay Thai, he's not like super crisp with his hands. Even when you look at the wins, like, okay, he chopped up Mitch Ramirez, but Ramirez is 8-1, making a debut on short notice, right? Melquizac Costa is a featherweight. Christos Yagos is over the hill at the time that he got him, but still, nice submission win, right? He beat Bobby Green several years back and even got the ankle lock on Michael Johnson in a comeback win in round 2. So there's things to like about Moisés. He's only 29, but I just don't think he's that good. Ogden at 35, I think he's still primed, and I think Ogden's ready to win. I like him as a dog, bro.
This is a funny ass comment, bro. You got Trey Ogden looking at Jesus right there, bro.
I think so.
He's seeing some shit right there, bro. He's fucking whoa. Whatever he's looking at is he's looking at. They had Brock Lesnar filling in short notice. Oh shit! Oh no!
He looks shocked. Let's go. Ogden for the dogs.
We're both on the dog. Look at that.
Let's go. I like this dog. I like this dog a lot. We're going Trey Ogden for the W. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Marco Tulio versus Ihor Potieria. I have to pick Marco Tulio. I do think that he's got relatively good striking. He's got decent pressure. I feel like he has a pretty good guard and like a strong base too, and good leg kicks. The issue with Potieria is like he's slick at times. Like at certain points of fights, his boxing doesn't look bad, and he's got hand speed for sure. But he's like a little clunky. Like he's fallen all over the place in fights. He kind of gets out of position at times. He's a little bit flawed defensively. Tulio, for me, is just I don't want to say he's overrated because he did win on Contender, but he's an iffy one for me. He had a nice finish against Duclos on Contender Series, and he beat Yusri Belgori the season before, but that fight sucked, man. That fight was really bad, and that's why he didn't get signed. I'm going to pick Tulio, but I saw him get knocked out on the regional scene in Brazil. I watched the tape, and the dude was the same height as Potieria and just caught him with the big right. And I think, maybe Tulio is a little overhyped right now. Making a debut and being a minus 500 favorite against Potieria, who, his record sucks at 2-5, but he's not awful. I mean, he beat Robert Bryczek, who came in with some hype. He went distance with Cesar Almeida. He rocked Bellato at light heavyweight in their fight. So, I don't know. I'm going to say Tulio is the pick, but Potieria by knockout seems like an interesting degeneracy type goal.
Yeah, every Potieria pick, AJ starts with, oh man, it's Potieria, bro. But I mean, he took Cesar Almeida down 3 times, I think. You know, that's what he should look to do here. I think this is a competitive fight. If I remember correctly, they priced this one a little wild too. I'm going to go Tulio as well, though. I think he's probably able to wrestle well enough if Potieria wants to change levels. And then with the striking, you know, we'll give him a slight edge there as well. But nothing crazy, man. I think Potieria is in this fight. Tulio, slight edge to him, though. Potieria, just a little too hittable, a little too low of a fight IQ. Not enough of a winner for me. Got to get his hair out of his fucking face. Got to learn from Clay Guida. You don't want to do this shit the whole time. Come on, dog. Get that shit going. Tulio decision.
Tulio decision, I think, is live. I like Potieria. I don't know. For some reason, I'm a fan of him, even though he's 2-5 as a pro. I feel like, or 2-5 in the UFC, but just can't back him as far as a confident call. Tulio's minus 500 on the money line. Decision for Tulio, if that's the side you like, is actually plus 500. So if you think he's going to win a decision, you got 5-1 odds, Finch. They might be enticing you with that one there. And then Potieria by KO is plus 800 if Potieria caught him with something.
Don't they dare pull me into betting on this fight. Don't you dare, Vegas, with your goofy odds. What the fuck is going on? Deserve to get burned on some of these. I boycott betting on this fight.
Valid. Tulio making a debut, 5-1 is wild. Potieria is still, you know, his 8th UFC fight, even though he's not super impressive. He got a nice win on Contender Series, as did Tulio, right? So we shall see, man. I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm curious to see if Potieria can pull off the surprise. I feel like I'd be happy if he did. Another thing to note, too, shoot their box Diego Lima prospect in Tulio as well. Granted, you know, that team more well-renowned for their, you know, lighter weights as opposed to like a middleweight.
You know? Yeah. We'll see. I think Potieria is a good, like, you know, see where you're at type, you know, like Potieria is one level below a gatekeeper. So you get through Potieria, then you get a gatekeeper after him, you know? So
yeah,
we'll see what Tulio's got. Tulio's got a lot to show us here. He better have a good performance.
We shall see. Either way, Tulio, the pick for the Finchman and I. Let's keep running. It's our featured prelim of the night. We got Jose Johnson versus Felipe Bunes. I like the matchup.
Yeah.
I'm picking the 6-foot flyweight, though. I'm picking Jose Bones Johnson. I mean, bro, skin and bones. I don't know how the fuck you're 6 feet at 125. He is built different, I think. And actually, like, he dealt with Chad Anheliger's aggressive pressure at 135, and he won that fight by submission. Jose Johnson's experienced as hell. He had a shitload of amateur fights. He's got a lot of pro fights. I think Jose, a little bit more talented than Bunes. Bunes is a little jittery with his stand-up. In his debut, obviously, it could have been the nerves, but bro, he got fucking wrecked by Van. Now, granted, Joshua Van's a monster, but he got absolutely trashed in that fight. And he's also, to me, a 35-year-old flyweight prospect with a 13-7 record. It's just hard to back that with any confidence. I know he trains with Pitbull Brothers. He's at a good gym, and he works alongside of the Savages out there. But I think Jose Johnson is more talented than him. He's 6 years younger. I think he's in his prime. I feel like he defends some takedowns because Bunes might have to shoot. I think he's slicker in the striking. I could see Johnson getting on top of Bunes. I don't even know how Bunes' gas tank holds up. He was broken by Joshua Van, but to be fair, Van is kind of a rare instance of a boxing style that, you know, really works a lot of body shots, right? There's an emphasis on mixing up the levels, whereas Johnson doesn't have that ability. And I've been critical of Johnson. I was critical when I broke this fight down the first time, and I'll be critical right here. And Finch, I'm curious your take. When I see Jose Johnson, I see a guy 6 foot, but he's fighting like he's 5'7" because he likes to close distance.
Right.
He doesn't strike from the outside very often. It's interesting to me that that was never like a facet of his game that was like really emphasized, because he could definitely use range.
He's knocking people out with goofy shit. They're in on a takedown. He's hitting them with the fucking elbows to the ear. I mean, Johnson is a dangerous guy. Make no mistake. He's fast. He's got power. But his takedown defense, as you just said, it's not good. Like if you look at his takedown percentage, his takedown defense percentage, it's trash. So I think Felipe Bunes can hit these takedowns. I was, able to be over there at Fight Ready and watch Felipe Bunes spar while he was mimicking Brandon Moreno for the Davison Figueiredo fight. That was the second Brandon Moreno fight. I got to see him go toe-to-toe, put rounds in with Davison Figueiredo. And I know he's got some wrestling. I know he's got the long-range striking where he can control it a little bit. I don't think the height will be a huge problem for him. And his submission ability is live on the floor, too. So I'm going to go with the dog here. I'm going to go with Felipe Bunes because that's my boy. All right. There's like an unreleased interview of me and him over in the Fighter House hanging out. Shout out to Captain Eric.
Where is it?
Unreleased, bro. It's
Why
somewhere.
can we do some releases of these hidden interviews?
You got to hit up Billy for that one. Billy filmed the interview. So
he has it somewhere. Send it. Listen, send it to me. I'll chop it up for you and we'll get it uploaded at the end of the week, bro.
We needed a translator,
Listen, I can figure it out.
You could figure out.
I'll voice over Bunes, and I'll just make shit up, but it might work. He'll become a star in the UFC.
We got to release it before this fight. Yeah, he's looked good in LFA. I mean, he could strike, he could grapple. He's well rounded. 35. It's like now or never for him. It's not a supreme confident pick. I could see Johnson even getting a finish with his hands. But I think he gets taken down, dude. I'm going to say the takedown defense doesn't hold up. Give me Felipe Bunes submission.
Felipe Bunes submission win. The odds for it, for just the win in general, you got plus 155, which is a beautiful line. Bunes by sub plus 650. So if you're on the Savage side, if you're living on the edge with the Finch, man, he has seen Bunes train. Okay. So this, I think, is I don't know, something to behold at the least and have some respect for. Finch has got to watch rounds of Bunes against Davison Figueiredo, the former champ. So I would say you have like more insight than anybody on it. Like you can watch all the tape you want. You've seen him in the room with the former champ. And even if they're not going 100%, you're seeing a lot of techniques, man. So you know a lot of what he has to offer. So you do think that he can match him up pretty well with Johnson?
I think he could take Johnson down. I mean, Henry Cejudo was coaching them in wrestling. They got a lot of good wrestlers over there at Fight Ready. I'm assuming he's in Brazil for this camp, that he's not over there at Fight Ready. But Captain Eric goes out there and wrestles with those guys. And we've seen Johnson have trouble with takedown defense. Again, his takedown defense is 50-something%. I mean, he's getting taken down half the time people try to take him down. So, you put Felipe on top, Pitbull Brothers Jiu-Jitsu. I think he could put something together. It's a risky fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I mean, this card's a bunch of good matchups, but I'm going to pick a couple of dogs. This is one.
I like it. Finchman going Bunes. I'm going Johnson, but I'm considering what the Finchman is saying heavy. Trying to look at any of the props. Bunes by sub plus 650. Johnson money line minus 180. You can't get much on it. Johnson's a 6-foot flyweight, which is insane. That's insane to me. I don't even understand. I don't get how that's possible, bro. He's taller than former heavyweight champ Daniel Cormier, and he's a fucking flyweight. What the fuck?
That's wild. Yeah, he don't wear it the same as Daniel. You know what I'm saying? No. He don't wear it the same as Daniel.
That's crazy as hell.
Daniel
Listen,
built like an oak tree. Daniel built like a sequoia.
Bro, Daniel Cormier is a one-of-a-kind physique, bro. Daniel Cormier, what people don't realize is I think if he didn't get into wrestling or, MMA, the dude would have probably been a contender for strongman.
For DC?
Oh, yeah. Daniel Cormier's build, bro, the way that he's like stocky like that. Like most dudes at whatever, 5'9", 5'10", is he really? I don't know. He might be 5'8 3/4" with no shoes on. Daniel Cormier is a legit, 230, 40 pound dude who's like under 5'10". Right. It's a rare build, bro. Rare build. DC probably, if he got serious about shredding, he probably could have been the middleweight champ, to be fair. And he would have thrown those guys around. Like, imagine DC with a perfect diet, bro. Is he not throwing around Chris Weidman? Yeah,
I don't
he
know about
is.
DC with a perfect diet. That's
No, I can't.
this is a fantasy land here.
Fantasyland.
This dude
Fantasyland.
did remember that pink commercial he filmed with the chicken
Yeah.
wings and he was dancing? That shit was terrible, by the way.
I loved it, actually. I thought it was hilarious years later.
Nah, I'm a swipe left on that one. But I clicked that shit off. I'm like, man,
That's
don't
funny
have
as
the
hell.
fucking UFC light heavyweight champion out here dancing with these chicken wings. What
That's
the fuck is
funny as
going
fuck.
on? With the hot pink background. Come on, dog. No, I'm with Islam Makhachev on this one. Brother, former champion, brother. What
I
is
know.
this? You know? Yeah, if he ate right, but AJ, the lighter you go, the better the fighters are. So it worked out for him.
All right, there we go. DC, freak of freaks, getting a quick shout. From me, I think he would have wrecked havoc at 185. I don't know. I think so. I think he could have done it. 70, obviously, those guys. I think like the level shift is a lot heavier from like, then you go 85, 70. The skill set level shifts a little bit harder than 205 to 85.
Yeah, I think the best division's probably like 155. It's probably like the best. So it kind of just gets better as you get closer. I would agree.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, either way, we're going with two different calls in this one, but Finchman's seen Bunes work in person. So take what he's saying into account if you're backing Johnson heavy, because I think that is probably going to keep me off of the Johnson side because you think you can run it like that. And listen, I respect the side, bro. Let's keep going. Next fight takes us to the first main card of 2025. Listen, I hope you guys missed us. If you weren't tuning in to the off week content, this is your first show back. Welcome back. If you're new, make sure you subscribe it up, smash the damn like button. And shit, we're gonna bring some thunder for the rest of this card, man. Starting it off, we got Soriano versus Medic, and what I think is a pretty cool matchup. And it's kind of weird that Soriano was at 85, whereas we got Medic, who was at 155. But like, I feel like at welterweight, Medic is, noticeably taller, right, and a little bit longer. I worry about his wrestling defense, but I know for a fact Uros Medic has more weapons in striking, like green zone striking long range. Medic is clearly better. He can snipe Soriano. But Soriano's a powerhouse, though. He throws big, wide shots. He comes in with heavy pressure. I picked Medic so far this week. I picked him because I like his slickness. And I'm looking at Soriano, and I'm like, okay, he fucked Miguel Baez up. But then I'm like, a Miguel Baez that I didn't want to be a fighter anymore, and he didn't finish him. A Miguel Baez that was off for years and got chinned by Andre Fialho. So, yeah, he ran him over, and he looked like a menace at 170. But then I'm digging back, and I'm watching him get worked by Stoltzfus. And I'm thinking to myself, Medic is slick from distance. Not to the level of like a Kopylov who beat Soriano, but I still think talented in kickboxing. I can see him sniping Soriano from range and stopping takedowns, beating him up in the striking. But if Soriano's strength at 170, I don't know, maybe a factor. It's a weird matchup, seeing a former lightweight and a former middleweight tangle up against one another, right? Especially because, like, we've seen both of these guys' whole careers pretty much in the UFC. And at one point, like, shit, Soriano was looking like that prospect to watch with big knockout power. Now it's like the fire has kind of dwindled down, but he's not old. And Medic is a good, slick striker who got, wrecked by Jalen Turner and Mitabek Orabai. But damn, he killed Tim Means last time. So I don't know. Medic nervously is the way that I'll say it.
Right. I mean, these are two guys who I've lost confidence in.
Yeah.
Both of them have shown me holes in their game, ways to beat them. I think the big issue I have here is, does Medic get taken down? Because I can imagine a extreme couture game plan where they have Soriano trying to be a mixed martial arts fighter here. Because when Soriano is getting out slicked on the feet, where somebody's able to touch him and move the way I believe Medic will be able to do, he needs that next, wrinkle in his game. If he doesn't have it, I think Medic dots him up. You always run a risk of getting clubbed by Soriano, but at this point, I have lost confidence in Soriano's ability to just sort of out kickbox somebody. And especially Euros Medic. And so it would have to be the takedowns, the lack of evidence that the takedowns are going to work. You're going to have to give me Medic here as well. But, you know, both of them have sort of lost my trust as ever locking them or something.
Yeah. No, I feel similar to you on that. I just, with Medic, man, what I worry about is him struggling with Soriano's strength. Soriano's wrestling. Even though Soriano's not an A caliber wrestler, he's explosive. And I mean, he seems like he's taken the fight game way more serious at 170, at least physically, it looks like it. So we could see like a better version of Soriano. But yeah, Medic, the pick too. Betting wise, you're looking at Euros Medic as a minus 210 favorite in a fight that to me is closer to 50-50 than that. Minus 210 seems wide. Plus 180 for Soriano. I mean, I'm thinking about it like this. Do I want to lay it down at 2-1 on Euros Medic, man? Not really. Not really. With Soriano, he's a hit or miss. He's not like a reliable underdog either. So maybe it's just a chill from the outside type of fight.
Reliable is not the word I would use for these guys. So, you know, but yeah, I think Soriano's at a speed disadvantage, a dynamism disadvantage. He certainly has a power advantage, and he's strong. Yeah. So if he could put some grappling on him, put a clinch on him, interesting matchup for sure. I'm with you though. Medic.
Yeah. Medic for the dub, the official prediction. And what a fight that, I don't know, to me, it gets me excited to see a lightweight versus a middleweight. Obviously, both are going to meet at 170.
It's a rare thing,
right? I'm looking forward to it. Let's keep running. Excuse me. Next fight on the card, we got Austin Bashi versus Christian Rodriguez. Is C-Rod going to bust him? This is a good fight. Is C-Rod going to bust the prospect? Because that's what's at stake. Austin Bashi, undefeated, has a lot of hype on the come up right now. Bro, you know, I've been hearing about Bashi for years, Finch. Did you see him on your Instagram feed years ago? Because I have known about him for a long time as like this guy to watch. Like he was always somehow on my feed pre-UFC, and then winning at Contender Series, comparisons to like Khabib with his grappling dominance. I'm not ready to push it that far though.
Yes, by the way.
Yes.
He fought my boy. He fought Oscar.
And he beat him easy. I think he's going to win against C-Rod. And this is a really big debut, though. C-Rod's experienced. Like, you look at C-Rod's losses. Jonathan Pierce, who's got decent wrestling, and it was at 145. Julian Orosa, who's got decent submission threats, a little awkward, and it was at 145. Bashi's the 45er. C-Rod can't make 35. But when I look at Christian Rodriguez, I see an oversized bantamweight. Like if he could get down to 35 and actually consistently make weight, I think that would be potentially better for him. But he's a 45er, man. And Austin Bashi is going to be a strong wrestler. He's going to have good offensive submission threats. And I do like his control of positions. The dude is strong. And I think he's a good prospect. He's undefeated. And I'm going to say he keeps the undefeated streak going. We're going to 14-0 as Austin Bashi chokes out C-Rod.
I'm going with the upset king himself. I'm going with C-Rod, the motherfucking, the prospect buster. My man is not a ghost buster. He's a prospect buster. And I think he's busting that big ass chin of Bashi. Look, Bashi's a good wrestler. So is fucking the Crimson Chin himself, the 16-year-old kid. Fucking names today.
Raul Rosas
Raul Rosas Jr. with the quadruple chin, the motherfucking Jimmy Neutron looking motherfucker. He you know, he takes people down and he holds them down, and he had issues doing it. Christian Rodriguez, decent takedown defense, very good get up ability, and his striking is smooth. It's much more dynamic and seasoned. It's just got more seasoning on it than Bashi. Bashi's a little too predictable with the Muay Thai. He's strong as shit, but he's just a child. He's just a kid. And if you look at his takedown game, I mean, I know he's known as being this great wrestler, but really it's shoot from too far away, push the guy into the fence, and then pull his legs out from under him. I mean, how many times has Christian Rodriguez seen this over and over again? Everybody he fights is trying to do it to him. And Austin Bashi represents Warrior Way Martial Arts in West Bloomfield Township, Michigan, Who the fuck is that team? Versus Rufasport, where he gets to work with world-class guys. He's been working on the same mat as a Gerald Meerschaert, as a Paul Felder, as a et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. CM Punk. I'm just kidding. But, it's like I think Christian Rodriguez has just so much more seasoning in the sauce. This kid's 23 years old. Christian Rodriguez is young as well, but 27 and a lot of UFC experience at this point. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 fights. This will be his 7th fight in the UFC. He got that split decision over Isaac Dulgarian. I don't know if he actually won that fight, but he did get the dub over Isaac Dulgarian. Cameron Simon, solid striker. Raul Rosas Jr., powerful wrestler. He hasn't had an easy road up here. From the jump, Christian Rodriguez has been fighting good competition. Bashi is a hot prospect, 100%. I rewatched Bashi fight my brother from another. Okay, the Motaz, Oscar, and Asif Oscar. The Oscar brothers are my boys. I got the Oscar t-shirt. I should have busted it out. It's in my closet right now. And I gotta say, it looked to me, as somebody who's trained with Oscar, that was a bad performance. I don't think Oscar looked like his usual self. You got to give Bashi full credit. He's got the Muay Thai background. I know a lot of people don't know that, but he did compete in Muay Thai, and everybody who watches him knows about his wrestling. But, like I said, he's pretty basic, shoots from far away, pushing to the fence, doubles. It's basic shit. And, as a UFC debut against C-Rod, I just feel like this is a big pill to swallow for him, man. So for those reasons, I'll go with another dog.
You savage. You savage. Listen, you're a savage, Finch. You're a C-Rod savage. I respect it. Dude, I think Bashi's pretty good, man. And it's not like Rodriguez has been looking as good at featherweight. Like, he fucked up Simon at bantamweight, and yes, he looked good. And Raul Rosas, he missed weight. It was at bantamweight too. I don't know. I just think Bashi can pull through. I guess I believe in the grappling attack, and I also like that it's at 145 for Bashi to win it. But C-Rod, listen, he's a slick striker. He's normally good, but I saw him break against Juicy J, Julian Arosa. I saw him break, bro. As Arosa was sitting in there mixing it up with them, he broke a little bit. And I think Bashi can break him too in a different way. But I think Bashi can break him too. I'm going with Bashi. I'm going undefeated.
He's a good kid, man. What is he, 22, 23? What did I say?
Young.
Yeah. I mean, I've got gym shoes that old. Like, that
is crazy.
That's wild. I got some old gym shoes. But I just feel like this is a tough test for him. I mean, this is not the ideal way you bring somebody into the UFC. They're kind of throwing him up there with a guy who's already had his 6 UFC fights, So
Valid.
it's a tough jump. I would assume they would bring him in against somebody not quite at this level, and then get him like 3 or 4 fights, and then you kind of earn your way up. And in that case, I could imagine with more seasoning picking a Bashi. But I'll tell you what, this is the fight I researched the most because it's a hard pick to make and it's a good fight. And there's a clear way for Bashi to win, being the stronger of the two, just forcing his way through on the fence. I think he's going into some strong suits of C-Rod, though. It's a fucking fun fight. I'm super excited to watch it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight, man. Odds for the fight right now, Bashi 3-1. Finch, man, you got plus 250. You got the juicy line on C-Rod. Let me ask you considering this one as a throwdown, okay?
Of course, okay. I'm considering it. You guys will get my 5 most confident picks after this, and then I'm dropping the bets in the fucking free channel on Telegram. I'll link that one up too. Yeah, of course. I actually have already placed a couple bets on this card.
Let's go. I'm excited. Listen, Finch, I'm excited. I'll be tuning into Most Confident Picks, bro. I got to check out the show. I'm excited. I always get excited to sit there and watch, right? Being on the other side normally, it's fun to then actually be on the phone in the chat and be be on the chat side of things, bro. I feel like I'd be like the guy spamming chat though. That'd be my habit.
You can spam the chat, dog. You get a spam card. I ain't gonna block AJ. That'd be fucked
That's
up,
funny
right?
as fuck, man.
I can't put him
shit.
in timeout. Could you guys imagine? I was like, AJ, you gotta stop.
That's it. That's it. The spam's overwhelming me.
Yeah, AJ's on one today. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh shit.
Good
All
fight.
right,
I'm
fight.
excited for this one.
Same. This
Most
dude, I'm telling you,
highly anticipated fight of the card.
You like this one. This is up there for me for sure.
Yeah.
This card is good. Like main event, I'm telling you, bro, if they could have just gave a better main event, my thought process runs deeper than just I'm entertained more by bigger names. No, more people tune into the fucking fights and you get to showcase a lot of these up and coming guys to a wider audience if you have a better main event. I get it. There's always going to be people that tune into the UFC like you and me. We're going to watch it every fucking time. But there's certain people that like, I don't like the main event. I'm not going to watch the card. They're more casuals, right? Even the semi-casuals, right? They'll watch the bigger fight nights and they'll watch the pay-per-views. Normally, they're not going to tune in to a Dern versus Ribas 2 card. They're going to say, nah, there's other things going on Saturday night. I think I'll use this as a night to go out. Even if they're fans, and I'll just check the results later. They should have fucking brought in a better main event, but we'll talk about that as we get there. I'm fucking ranting heavy.
Sure. I mean, yeah, there's a couple good middleweight fights we'll get to.
Yeah, we got to keep running, man. We got more action. Finchman going for the prospect bust on C-Rod. I'm going with Bashi. I think I'm believing in all these undefeated guys, Finch. I picked every undefeated fighter on this card.
I see that, bro.
I know.
Tell me.
The O's ain't gonna go.
I think the quote goes the other way, but all right.
Let's keep running. Next fight, we got Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. This is good. I'm interested as hell in this matchup. I like Chris Curtis's chances here. I think Roman Kopylov is incredibly clean at striking, but I know Cesar Almeida is a former pro kickboxer. Chris Curtis is a good boxer, though. Chris Curtis could touch Kopylov on the feet. I don't think he's getting absolutely wrecked. Now, from the outside, the kicks of Kopylov are a factor. Kopylov's distance striking and sniper style is a factor. But what I like from Chris Curtis is his boxing in the closer range. If he can get into the punching range and throw hard, I think he could push Kopylov backwards. I think he could bust Kopylov up a bit. I feel like Chris Curtis has a chance to do some work in this fight. I don't think he's washed just yet. He gave Brendan Allen all he could handle. And to be honest with you, maybe I'm coping a bit, but aside from the torn hamstring, if that doesn't happen, he might beat Brendan Allen by a competitive decision and be fighting, one of the better guys in the world. He might have been rematching Nasruddin Imavov or something like that if he would have won that fight. So I think that he's got a live shot to beat Kopylov. I know Kopylov, he's like essentially a meme. He's the fucking Russian savage striker. He's super slick and exciting. But when I look at the wins more closely, I'm like, okay, he beat Cesar Almeida, who's a good kickboxer, but he wrestled him a lot in that fight. And there was uncomfortable moments in striking. And it's like, okay, he fucked up Josh Frem, but realistically, who doesn't fuck up Josh Frem at this point? He's not in the UFC anymore. He lost to Fluffy Hernandez. Hernandez is a monster. I understand. Hernandez's grappling is A caliber. So it's a totally different style with Chris Curtis. But when I look at the resume of Kopylov, I'm asking myself, who that he's fought boxes like a Chris Curtis, though? He's never fought somebody to that level. He beat Punahele Soriano by knockout, but is there really a comparison? Curtis is a lot better than that. So I'm going to go with Curtis for an upset. I think Kopylov is clean, though. I'm not saying Kopylov from distance can't touch him up with strikes, but Curtis doesn't back down from a fight. You got to be on point to outpoint him for all 3 rounds. We saw Hermanson do it to him. He was frustrated in that fight. That wasn't a good performance from him. I'm not saying there was a fluke, though. I'm not saying, oh, well, if they do it again, he makes different adjustments. Hermanson's a hard matchup, but Hermanson also does bring the threat of potential grappling. Kopylov, even though he's got the, base of master of sports sambo, he's not known for his grappling. Yeah, he took down Cesar Almeida, but that level is not Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis stopped every one of Adolfo Vieira's takedown attempts and just boxed them up for 3 rounds. So I'm going to say Chris Curtis for an upset, but nerve-wracking call, though, to be fair.
A tough fight, man. You would really like to see Chris Curtis hit takedowns in this fight. I mean, this is the moment, right? It's like, Chris, change levels or tie up, jack that underhook up. Let's see what you got with the wrestling. Chris Curtis has just been electing to only strike with how many fighters in a row now, when it would be so helpful to see him wrestle. And, with him limiting himself to just striking with people, we're on the other side of every fight this card, huh?
That is crazy.
I'm going to have to go with Roman Kopylov,
Respect.
dude. I must admit, AJ, I am somewhat of a Roman Kopylov fan. I kind of
Me too. I'm gonna agree.
always go with Roman
Yeah,
Kopylov.
I get it. I don't know if I picked against him.
Did you pick Cesar Almeida against him or no?
Oh shit, did I? Yeah, I did.
Am I tripping?
I'm going for everybody against. I guess I am the anti-Kopylov.
I thought you did the Cesar
I
Almeida
did.
one. I did, but I could be wrong. But for sure, Josh Frem, Claudio Ribeiro, Soriano. I mean, I've been picking him his whole career, and I'm just a big believer in him, man. I like his jab, I like his style, I like his striking. He's relatively composed for a young dude. A young Russian at 32. He's actually my age. I guess I'm young. Prime Russian at 32. I think he can get this thing done, man. A little taller, a little longer, little straighter with the jab. Chop the legs a little bit without worrying about being taken down. I think he gets 2 out of 3 rounds against Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis loses another close decision.
This could have been the fucking main event.
Yes, I like this fight. This is a good fight.
This is dope. As far as the odds, minus 250 for Roman Kopylov with Chris Curtis at plus 211. Damn, bro. Wide odds, a good matchup. Over 2.5, minus 200. You think Kopylov could knock Curtis out, though, with something? Or you think Curtis' chin holds up?
I think Curtis's chin holds up, man. Curtis is tough, dude. He spars like fucking Sean Strickland does. They just spar every day, all day. They ain't smart, but they're tough.
That probably ups the risk of CTE, I'd assume, substantially, as opposed to maybe once, twice a week.
He
right?
might need a tax guy to do his taxes. You know what I'm saying?
I hope not. I think Chris is a good guy.
He better get a realtor to buy the house. He better not do it himself, But yeah, as far as toughness goes, my man can stay in there.
Yeah. Curtis is tough. And that's, I guess, what gives me confidence that he could do some damage to Kopylov and get a close decision. Because Kopylov does bruise easily. He bleeds easier. Curtis don't show much on his face.
How much love has he gotten on those close decisions, though, bro? He
Chris
seems
Curtis?
like the guy who loses the close decision. Brendan Allen split. The Marc-Andre Barriault, he got the split.
That win aged like shit, bro. Barriault finished 2024 like a can.
That part.
Valid. But I thought he looked good with Brendan Allen. Then again, slickness factor, you favor Kopylov over Allen. It's just Allen's grappling. We'll see. Good fight. I'm looking forward to it, man. This card is bringing some low-key bangers, and I don't think the bangers really stop. Next one, I think, is pretty good, too. It's Abdul Razak Alhassan versus Cesar Almeida.
Hey, not
Interesting
bad.
that this is ahead of the other one, though. I mean, it's a good fight, but Cesar Almeida's getting the, spot up over Kopylov, who just beat him. I just thought that was interesting.
Beat him? Yeah, the placement of the Chris Curtis versus Kopylov's the co-man, yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll switch it because that doesn't make any sense. But regardless, looking at this fight here with Alhassan and Almeida, I like the matchup, dude. I'm actually really excited to see Almeida take on somebody who historically is more of a striker. I know he has a judo base, but how often is Alhassan bringing serious wrestling threats? It's on occasion, but it's not really his style. He's a knockout artist. He throws chaotic and wild shots, and he's been chinned before. I think this is a fight for Cesar Almeida. I think it's the chance to find out if he's actually got the goods. Like, if he can go out and chin Abdul Razak Alhassan, I think that's damn good for his stock. Because Abdul Razak Alhassan's explosive. He's very experienced, but we saw him kicked up and picked apart a while back, years ago now, against Munir Lazez, right? Chaos Williams absolutely flatlined him. He gave Buckley a tough fight and lost a competitive decision, but I think Cesar Almeida might get a knockout, especially Alhassan 39. Cesar Almeida light on his feet. If his takedown defense is even 10% better than the last fight, Alhassan doesn't have the same offensive abilities as Kopylov, I don't believe. So if he can stop takedowns and strike, bro. He's gonna counter shot KO Alhassan. But Cesar Almeida is worrisome with takedown defense. We've seen him on his back. Alhassan, thankfully for me, picking Cesar Almeida here, not really known for offensive grappling, but he does hit hard. So of course he could torque some bombs with ground and pound if he got on top. But I think Cesar Almeida's okay in this fight. I think even if they go down, I think against an Alhassan, he can get back up to his feet. Alhassan is probably going to get starched. So Almeida.
That it's the way they match up. It's that Alhassan is not enough of a threat to him with the grappling. It's not that Cesar Almeida is, not a beatable guy. He is. He even showed that in the Potieria fight. But you have to have those other wrinkles in your game. Alhassan does not. Alhassan's 39 years old. I don't think he's learning it now. I do believe that Cesar Almeida is live in this one. Whether it's a decision or knockout is more so the question for me. I gotta go with Cesar Almeida, the seasoned striker who is very experienced in striking outside of the UFC and now coming into the UFC to try to be a mixed martial arts fighter. He's against a relatively pure striker as well here. Seems like a bad matchup for him to me. Cesar Almeida, late finisher decision.
You know what I like too for Cesar Almeida, which is is probably something not mentioned. He's going to have a nice height and reach advantage, 3 inches taller, an inch in reach. I mean, if you look at some of the other fights, like as bad as we say Potieria is 2 inches taller. He's longer. Kopylov, good striker from distance, is shorter, but has longer reach than him. And then before that, he took on Dylan Budka, who's a pressure-based grappler. Like, I think this is a good canvas for him to really paint the picture. Like, if Cesar Almeida goes out and puts an impressive performance on and gets a knockout, I'm like, okay, he's got something. If he goes out there and struggles with Alhassan and gets passed by a gritty decision, then I think I'm going to know my answer of where Almeida truly lies. Like, we'll find out here, because this is a fight that, I don't know, they're pushing him, bro. They're giving him a push. You're giving him Kopylov early on, and then giving him Potieria, which is like a big step down and a guy with obvious flaws. And then now giving him Abdulrazak Alhassan. They want something impressive, and they're giving him a shot to make moves. So
and just the matchup itself looks like it's fun. I mean, when you're fighting Potieria, you need to finish a guy like that. So I don't have like title aspiration hopes for Cesar Almeida. No. I do have hopes that he'll beat an Alhassan.
Odds for the fight, he's -275 is the favorite, is Almeida. Alhassan +235. KO for Almeida +130. It's a really chalky money line, but maybe a parlay piece where I'm like, you know what? I think he can pull through. I don't think it would be fucking leg number 1 of confidence, but I do think, I don't know, if I was mixing in 3 or 4, I might add Almeida, because I do believe in the striking without a doubt, and I don't believe in Alhassan's fight IQ, nor his wrestling. He throws big bombs, but what are his setups really, right? He's looking to just knock people out, and sure, he's done it. But Cesar Almeida, having fought at a high level in kickboxing and having good MMA striking, the way I think of it is he should recognize these chaotic shots from Abdulrazak Alhassan, and he should be able to defend them. So Almeida the call for us both.
Almeida. Hey, we agree on one.
Let's go,
Let's go. AJ and I.
Is this the lock of the call? Let's go.
Dog.
Let's go. Holy shit. Let's keep running. Next fight. Co-main event again. This I don't get why this is co-main.
Bro, what the fuck are the odds on this card? What's the lineup? What the fuck is going on here?
First card of the year, bro. They're getting back in the groove, man. People fucking slept good on the New Year's and Christmas, right? The holidays. They came back and scrambled and said, "Oh shit, what's the lineup?" And I think somebody did it half asleep, bro. Because Ponzinibbio Harris is not a co-main. Hopefully they change it. Regardless. I'm picking Ponzinibbio because Carlston Harris, he looks like a fucking South American journeyman boxer, bro. If you've seen boxing in person, at least in Tampa, it was big. So I go to a lot of the events in the area, right? And you would see these guys come from South America, journeyman. They'll be 35 years old. They'll have 7 wins and 20 losses. And they fought a lot. And bro, they look similar to how Harris is throwing. They're very stiff. Like, they obviously know how to throw a punch, but it's not technical. right? They're sloppy. Harris makes mistakes. He's throwing a sloppy straight shot, very slappy punches. He got Jeremiah Wells in a comeback submission, but he was getting fucked up in that fight. He got starched so bad against Chaos Williams last time. I think he's so stiff on the feet. What, he's going to take Ponzi down and choke him out? Ponzinibbio's grappling defense is there. He's got the hips on him. He's got big power in his hands. He still hurt Muslim Salikov last time. And look what Salikov did to Kenan Song. He lost a split decision to freaking Salikov. And Salikov did the spinning heel kick on Song. I think Ponzinibbio chins Harris, man. I think his boxing is a lot better. I think it's a striking fight. To be honest, Carlston Harris looks older. Somehow Carlston Harris, he like aged at hyper speed, bro. He came into the UFC as a prospect, loses badly to Shavkat, turns it around, and then, I don't know, the Jeremiah Wells fight, and then this last fight against Chaos, bro, I think he's getting starched.
Yeah, I'll go with Ponzinibbio here too, but dog, Ponzinibbio got me,
Scared? Nervous?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Shaking in your boots, man.
Yeah, bro.
Tighten those bootstraps, man.
Come on, man.
Pull yourself up by him,
You saying Carlston Harris looks old? Bro, Muslim Salikov looks like, man, 60s. I mean, he looks terrible. You know what I'm saying? And Ponzi did not look good there, man. You can't be losing to old man Muslim Salikov, albeit he did beat Kenan Song with a wheel kick to the head. And I did not see that one coming. I did see Randy Brown knocking his ass out, though. I gave you guys that. So the Kevin Holland loss we can forgive. Beat Alex Morono, but we're already back in 2022. He hasn't been that active. I'll pick Ponzinibbio, but I ain't excited about that shit.
Nah, not excited. Not excited.
I
guess I am.
Yeah, bro. Lock of the card, Ponzinibbio. Nah, man. I think his best days are behind him.
I agree with that. Minus 121 for Ponzinibbio. Carlston Harris plus 101. Ponzi to win via KO is plus 235. We're calling Ponzi starching him, Finch, man. That's what we're going to do.
Go.
You think starching him? You think knockout? You with me on KO?
I think because of Harris's, aging chin, it's live. Yeah. But, again, Ponzi, not that bettable to me.
The odds kind of suck for it. It's like plus 235 for KO. That's really nothing.
That's not sweet enough.
Nah, I wouldn't go crazy on it. But I hope it happens. It's the pick for us both. We're both going Ponzinibbio as we run it up to the first main event of 2025. The UFC decided, damn, we're going to come out hot. And we're going to drop a pay-per-view level main event for the fight night. Woo! Listen, not pay-per-view for the UFC,
smoke show, bro.
Listen,
why are you hating on this,
it's
dog?
the old Cinemax pay-per-views, bro.
I know you buying that OnlyFans. You might as well buy the pay-per-view.
I just signed up. I'm going to be checking it out. They got a backstage edition of this fight that we doing post-fight. We'll be watching.
Yeah, I know you'd like to see that backstage shit. I know.
You wouldn't?
I'm married, dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's funny. Listen, either way, all jokes aside, we got Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas too, and what is an interesting rematch. I mean, the first fight wasn't bad. It was a long time ago, though. I think Amanda Ribas can win. I feel like Ribas is on a second run in her career after going up to flyweight. I know people are going to say, bro, but she took L's. But like when you look at the opposition, it's kind of impressive for her to have a competitive fight against Thug Rose and go distance, even if it's at 25. She lost in a good war with Macy Barber, but it was a fun back and forth fight. And yes, Macy Barber fucked her up bad, but Caitlin Chukagan, now Sermonara, split decision. She beat Viviane Araujo, who just exposed Corinne Silva. I feel like Ribas is pretty live. I mean, obviously Dern's crafty too. She's good at jiu-jitsu, but at times, man, I just get frustrated with her going back to the chaotic striking of the past, right? She's tightened things up, but she has a hard time letting the old habits go of just getting so wild out there. And Ribas is more calm and calculated. She has that win over her before. I feel like Ribas is like the big sister to Mackenzie Dern still. They're the same age, but when they fought, Ribas was just a bit better. Both girls came in from Brazil, known for their jiu-jitsu, and Ribas gave her a, pretty clean win last time. So I think she does it again. I think it's competitive. I think Dern's definitely tricky with jiu-jitsu. Like Dern's faster in grappling transitions, but Ribas is better at positional control. I think Ribas is more defensively sound in striking, a little bit more clean with technical stand-up, but like Dern's more explosive, but her accuracy isn't as good. I think it's a competitive 5-round fight. Ribas beats her on a decision again. I think she wins this thing. What do you think, Finch?
Yeah, I'm a little more concerned about the grappling than it seems like everybody else in the world is. Mackenzie Dern looks in great shape. I've seen her footage training with Jason.
What type of footage? What type of footage, Finch?
Bro, it's a pause, bro. Come on, I've been
What
with
footage
family
is he
time,
doing?
dog. I've been with the girl, bro. I've been good. We were watching Lord of the Rings, not
Good.
you know, no
Oh, shit.
exclusive content. But
Oh, shit.
she lives down the street, so she is training right over there. But I haven't seen any of the training. She's been with Jason Perillo. She's been training jiu-jitsu with her father, who's a gi champion. I mean, so you know, I believe she'll be in I believe Mackenzie Dern will be in 5-round shape. I do believe Mackenzie Dern is a little bit better at jiu-jitsu than Amanda Ribas. It's all about that wrestling and, you know, Mackenzie Dern ending up on bottom a little too much. I think Amanda Ribas can stop some of these takedowns, and Amanda Ribas' striking has gotten better. You know, it's not as good as Rose Namajunas', but it's better than Mackenzie Dern's. Mackenzie's got a little bit of power, but she's wild with it. She punches like a girl sometimes, you know, and I have a lot of faith in Jason Perillo's coaching for sure. But, you know, Mackenzie Dern, you could just tell that she didn't grow up striking. You could see that, you know, she isn't not a natural with it. She is naturally tough. She's naturally strong. She naturally looks for submissions. So she's live, but Amanda Ribas, pretty tough customer to submit. Remember, you know, Mackenzie Dern beat Lupe Godinez. I mean, Mackenzie Dern is very capable. It's a fight. I think a lot of people are all in on Amanda Ribas, and I am much more thinking that this thing is going to be down to the wire. And the reason why I'm about to pick Amanda Ribas is actually because of her toughness, her cardio, just the heart that she has shown, her ability to push through adversity. I think even if she ends up in bad positions, she finds a way to make it out. Mackenzie Dern is live. Mackenzie Dern, if she's going to finish the fight, it's probably submission. But Amanda Ribas is going to be a tough customer to submit. So Amanda Ribas, 3 out of 5 rounds and a good one. I think we get a tough Mackenzie Dern, and we know we always get a tough Amanda Ribas. Not a bad 25 minutes between two, you know, of, you know, the better looking UFC fighters we've ever seen.
I agree with that statement. Finch, do I look more badass with the earpiece in for the show, man?
Anybody looks more badass with an earpiece in. Though.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Anybody looks more badass with the earpiece in.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Bring in the more badass look to 2025, man.
I mean, you want to go full badass, shave the head.
Yeah. Oh.
Shave the head, dog.
Shave the head,
bro. Earpiece. Do the suit like
Hitman, bro.
Yeah. Go straight music at the press conference.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have it. Then you'll have it, bro.
Oh, shit. That's funny, man. Listen, looking at the fight for me, I think that you're on to good points, bro. Like Dern is not out of the fight. It's not a washout. You want to ref the main event. It's funny as fuck, bro. There'll be no stoppage, bro. You just be too zoned in. I think close, competitive. I asked myself a lot of questions about this fight, and I think Ribas tough enough. Dern's good though. Like she's gonna be in the fight. I just think she's more chaotic, right? Ribas is cleaner. Ribas is, I think, a little more technical with striking. I feel like she might even be better with offensive grappling with that judo base. Dern's got a good throw that she hit on Lupe Godinez, though. To be fair, we'll say Ribas on both sides, man. But you know, betting wise, she's a 2-1 favorite. It's a little wide for Ribas. I think it's a competitive fight. Dern plus 170. Ribas by decision minus 140. Is anything about the betting side intrigue you? Or you feel like the bets are on the undercard, bro?
I'll meditate on this one too. I mean, you know, I could definitely tell that Amanda Ribas has gotten better since the last fight. Remember, this is a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think she's done most of the growing. So I could be convinced, but I have not bet on this fight.
No, not yet. And I don't know. We'll see with this one. We'll see. We'll sit on it for the rest of the week too.
Wait a second. Actually, I did put a bet on this fight. I
Oh,
just
yeah?
remembered that. I said that completely honestly, and then I just remembered I actually did place a bet on this fight. So
Okay, so you're he come on, Finch
hold
is
on,
excited.
wait.
Oh, I know what he
No
played.
bets are dropping. I'm just saying I placed a bet on this
He
fight.
placed the
I
bet.
fucked that one up. My bad. I gotta tell the folks the truth.
Thank you, man. We
My bad,
appreciate your
y'all.
honesty. Is this guy getting ready for fucking
I always try
politics
to be
over
honest,
here?
okay? Hey, I
Running for
learned that
city
early in
council.
life. Okay, I'll try to be honest.
I agree. Listen, Finch, we're both going Ribas in the main event. I do feel like we should have another fight to talk about, though. I feel like there should be another fight, but it's all good. It's a good matchup. It's good. It's not bad. A little.
You saying this should be co-main or should it be because I think right up there you could say Chris Curtis and Roman Kopylov is an interesting one. So
Just because they're not ranked, you can't put it as the main event, right? They like ranked fighters in these main events.
Come on, bro. Who gives a fuck about the rankings, man? Are you serious?
I think they do nowadays, bro, especially with ESPN. It's like is there ever how often are there unranked main events? I can't think of the last one.
Kaya Sakura getting the title shot?
I guess, but still the champ was in the main event. One fighter was still ranked.
Okay. All right. Well, that's how we're playing this. 2 unranked fighters. Yeah.
2 unranked fighters in a main event.
In a minute. But I mean, like, just I don't think they're like, we need ranked fighters. I think it's more like the ranked fighters are the ones who tend to be up in that, place to be put in a main event. I think it happens the other way is what I'm saying.
No, I get you.
But yeah, sure. I think whoever, is going to draw the eyeballs should probably be the main event.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Let's go. So. Finch, man, we brought the fire for this card. Yeah. Are we doing parlay time? You got to let me know.
You got one? If you go first, I'll fucking make one right now.
Listen, all right then. It's game on. Finch, man, and I needed to start 2025 off right, and we're going to drop a parlay.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah, parlay time. Open up your wallets. 2025, we gonna kick it off, right? Yeah. And I know who I want to bet on now. AJ, you still go first, though. You go.
Okay. Brother, I'm going to go with Dagestan. I'm going to go Dagestan. Gadzhiyasulov. Okay. And we're going to go Nurullo, Aliev, both of them to win. But I'm not going to just give you 2. I'm going to throw in Trey Ogden as the dog. I don't even know what the line is, bro. I just knew what shits were. I just knew what I'm feeling. Nurullo Aliev is good. He should win this fight. I look at Gadzhiyasulov. He should be able to win. It's -126 for those 2. And we run it up one further. This is a Monday parlay. This is off the top of the dome. I said, you know what? I feel something about these calls. Trey Ogden. You got +366 for the big 3 play. We're going for the Savage Mode. 1 OV. Okay. We got the freaking EV and we got the Ogden, bro. The big 3. Let's get it.
Give me Roman Kopylov and Euros Medici. You put those 2 together, it's +106. That is my free parlay for y'all. I'm also going to drop it in the free channel. That is in addition to another parlay I will be dropping some point late tonight. Come see me over on the premium channel, on the free channel. I will drop those links in the description in my video. I'm doing my 5 most confident picks in a few minutes here. I'll put up my my infamous blurry fucking cover photo. What do you call that shit? What do you call that?
Thumbnail.
Cover. Yeah, I'll put the thumbnail up. I actually got my boy Cam who can make me some. So AJ makes them beautiful. He sends them to me and then they're fucked up. So I'm gonna have my boy Cam try to do it. And then we'll really see if it's the email problem or if it's an AJ problem. Yeah, I'll give you guys my 5 most confident bets in a few minutes. All right, come see your boy and let's kick 2025 off with some dubs.
Listen, Finch, I'm the thumbnail king. It ain't my fault. No way. We're gonna have to get you on Google Drive. I know.
All right, fuck. Gotta figure out what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I do? I get the email from AJ, I hit download, and then I hit upload to the little plus sign.
Wonder, maybe you gotta, can you save it as a different size? Maybe it's saving too small, man. We can talk after the show. We're fucking talking thumbnails to close out the show.
Click, give me the fuck
They're
out.
clicking out. Actually, no, we still got a lot of people watching. People, smash the likes,
Do it.
subscribe.
Do it.
I've been on every day during the off weeks pretty much, but I'm back every single day. Video dropping tomorrow. I gotta fucking bring the fire to PFL, enough of this shit, and then doing a live stream. So make sure you guys tune into the content. Check out the Finch Man. I dropped the link to the Savage in the live chat. So go join him. He's doing most confident picks. I'm gonna probably do thumbnail, or I guess, am I doing thumbnail, Finch? I'm doing timestamps at least.
And then, now he's doing the thumbnail.
Maybe why you doing thumbnail?
This
Finch
is
real
great
quick?
news.
This is great. Woo, we'll do it all, and then
Cool.
we'll be bringing the fire with Finch Man going live. So keep it locked in. I'll tune into his show as well. Much love, people. We're glad to be back. Keep on tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Good night.